Welcome back. Today, the topic of our video is the poetry of Philip Larkin. So, let's first have a brief intro of Larkin before discussing his poetry. Philip Larkin was one of the most influential British poets of the 20th century, known for his sharp, often pessimistic observations of everyday life. His work is marked by a distinct sense of detachment, capturing the bleakness, loneliness, and mundane aspects of existence with wry humor and clarity. Philip Larkin's poetry is often known for its detached, observational style, capturing life with a sharp, almost clinical eye. His tone often conveys a sense of distance or emotional reserve, allowing him to comment on life's banalities, ironies, and disappointments without becoming overly sentimental or involved. This detached observation can be seen clearly in his poems Mr.Beaney and Church Going. Larkin uses the persona of an unnamed speaker to describe the life of Mr.Bleaney, a man who used to live in a rented room. The speaker rents this room after Mr.Bleaney's departure and reflects on the life that this man must have led, based solely on the sparse details left behind in the room. The bed, upright chair, 60-watt bulb, no hook behind the door. Larkin's detached tone allows the reader to reflect on the dreariness of Mr.Bleaney's existence without overt pathos. The poem implies that Mr.Bleaney's life was one of monotony and lack of fulfillment, yet this is done not with judgment or pity but rather with a resigned observation. The final stanza ends with the speaker questioning whether the way a person lives reflects the worth of their life, a grim observation wrapped in uncertainty. But if he stood and watched the frigid wind tousling the clouds, lay on the fusty bed telling himself that this was home, and grinned, and shivered, without shaking off the dread, that how we live measures our own nature, and at his age having no more to show than one hired box should make him pretty sure he warranted no better, I don't know. Larkin's detached tone in Mr.Bleaney leaves the reader pondering this existential question without offering comfort or answers. He presents the facts and leaves the emotional engagement largely up to the reader. Church Going. Similarly, in Church Going, Larkin adopts a detached stance to explore the role of religion and religious spaces in a modern, secular world. The speaker casually enters a church after making sure no one is watching, his attitude initially flippant and irreverent. He critiques and questions the purpose of churches now that they seem to have lost much of their spiritual significance. He notes the musty atmosphere, the matting, seats, and stone, and wonders what will happen to these buildings when they are no longer actively used for religious worship. Yet, despite his casual detachment and skepticism, the speaker ultimately acknowledges that churches will continue to hold meaning, even if only as a place for ceremonies marking significant life events, such as births, marriages, and deaths. The speaker concludes with a sense of quiet resignation. A serious house on serious earth it is, in whose blent air all our compulsions meet, or recognized, and rove as destinies. And that much never can be obsolete, since someone will forever be surprising a hunger in himself to be more serious, and gravitating with it to this ground, which, he once heard, was proper to grow wise in, if only that so many dead lie round. Larkin's detached observation here is notable because, while he doesn't invest emotionally in the church as a spiritual institution, he still acknowledges its enduring importance. He doesn't celebrate or condemn it, he simply recognizes its role in human life. Detached observation in daily life. Larkin's approach to poetry mirrors the way people often observe the world around them from a distance, whether walking through a familiar neighborhood or pondering the lives of strangers on a train. For instance, you might look at an old building and wonder about its history or see someone sitting alone in a cafe and imagine their story. Like Larkin, you may feel detached from the emotional weight of these stories, but still, you can't help but notice the patterns of existence. In Mr.Bleaney, the speaker's focus on the physical details of a man's life suggests how we often measure others by superficial observations, what they wear, where they live, the objects they own, without ever truly knowing them. In Church Going, Larkin explores the way people treat spaces like churches with a casual, almost indifferent air, but beneath the surface, these places hold deeper significance in marking our journey through life. Larkin's poetry reflects this tension between casual observation and deeper reflection, offering a detached yet insightful commentary on the human condition. His poems are like snapshots, detached, unemotional, yet filled with the quiet poignancy of everyday life. Thanks for watching.